No barfing, no crying, just say the word.
Mama!
Yes, yes.
When I grow up, I'm going to put you in the fire.
Excuse me a sec. Claudine?
Yes, Claudette?
Gabriel wants to put me in the fire.
He's finally talking. That's great.
You think?
Oh yeah, that means Claudia was wrong.
About what?
Well, she was worried Gabriel was...
Was what?
Well, you know.
Say it.
Well, she was worried Gabriel might be a bit...
My son is not challenged. Claudia?
Yes, Claudette?
Is it true you think Gabriel is challenged?
Yep.
That's horrible. You're his godmother.
I still buy presents, don't I?
Forget it.
I don't know about you, but I talk to my cookies. Don't worry, they don't talk back. When I say talk to my cookies, it's more like we have a real conversation. They never say, Claudine, we need more brown sugar, or hey hon, you forgot to grease the tray. No, nothing like that. It's more like we have a little chat, where I'm the one chatting. I talk, they listen. I transmit, they receive. Like all of you, actually. Come to think of it, you're exactly like my cookies. And that means I can tell you my secret. I ain't a therapist. But I lie to him. I pretend I'm a widow of a husband named Hector, so I can talk for the life I wish I'd had. Therapist, you know my favorite memory of Hector? Not our wedding day, not even our honeymoon. Nope, it was our first Sunday in our new house. We wanted to spend the day working on the property, trimming the bushes, pulling the weeds, mowing the lawn. We wanted to get it all ready for the garden we were planning to plant. But when we were just about to go outside, it started to spit, and then it was coming down in buckets. We watched the rain through the window, and then I say to Hector, guess we should have checked if it was gonna rain. And he says, well, we'll just have to take a rain check. We laugh. And then he says to me, Claudine, I'm gonna show you how to make cookies. And then we make cookies together, all warm and cozy when it's pouring outside.
My sisters are nuts. I mean, so am I. 3 triplets, 3 nut jobs, that's us. What do you expect? You know what sentence we've heard the most in our lives?
I should have had an IUD.
That was our mother, alright. That was her favorite sentence. Sure, she had other ones, like...
I hate you for what you did to my hips, and I hate the other two for what they did to my hips.
Or...
My first mistake was having you. My second one was keeping you.
But her favorite sentence was always, I should have had an IUD. That's why we turned out the way we did. But I'm telling you, my sisters are crazier than I am. Claudine's always been nuts. What's up, cookies? What's up, cookies? Your cookies taste like shit! Meanwhile, my sister Claudette went nuts the day she gave birth. Before that, we could talk about anything. Now we have 3 subjects of conversation. Pampers, purees, and poop. It's like a kid sucking off half her IQ. And she didn't have much to begin with. You want proof? She married a cashier from the supermarket. No surprise that didn't end well. I told her, Claudette, just because you're ugly doesn't mean you have to settle for a cashier. Someone who spends his days putting something in a bank and never make you happy. Better alone than in bad company. Never forget that. No, don't go thinking I'm heartless or anything. When she asked me to be the godmother, I said yes. Not that I wanted to. Her son's as ugly as she is, and I hate buying presents. But I said yes anyway. Because that's what family's all about. Saying yes, even when you don't feel like it.
Into the fire. Put me into the fire. My son wanted to put me into the fire. I must have misunderstood. But when I saw Gabriel stand up in his crib, I knew I heard right. He was holding something out to me like a present. I came closer. It was a dead bird. I did what every good mother should when the kids are to go off the rails. I put my baby in a cage. It's his father's fault Gabriel's like this. Henry was the heart of our family. One morning, I woke up, no Henry beside me. I checked the bedrooms, no Henry. I checked the main floor, no Henry. I checked the basement, Henry, with a plastic bag over his head and a note at his feet. Happiness is like a key. Once you lose it, you're locked out. My husband never told me about his joy problems. If he did, I would have made a spare key. Overnight, the center of my universe became a black hole. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, especially not my son.
You can come out now, Gabriel. Mama is sorry. Last time I went to see my therapist. He said something weird, and I can't get it out of my head. Therapist, this week is just too much. Dinner with my sisters, dinner with mom, dinner with Hector's family, cocktails with the guys from work, bowling tournament with my team, or party with the volunteers from our school's breakfast club, girls' night out, taking my nephew to the park. I'll have to say no to people who want to be with me. I know it'll hurt their feelings. And then he says to me, lying is a waste of your time and mine. Have the courage to be honest. Be honest? Why on earth would I do that? Claudette,
Yes, Claudia?
I know you're busy with Gabriel and everything, but I gotta ask you something. Are you happy?
When I was younger, I told myself happiness was moving out. Once I moved out, I told myself happiness was being married. Once I was married, I told myself happiness is being a mother. Now I'm a mother, I told myself happiness is being you.
Me? Why?
Because you're alone. Nobody can disappoint you.
Come and have a cookie.
Your cookies are not good, Claudia.
I know. It's because they're homemade cookies made without a home. Claudia,
Yes, Claudine?
I'm unhappy.
Me too.
Do you think we'd be happier if we were unhappy together?
Happier, unhappy. You lost me.
You haven't left the house in months. Is this a depression?
Claudine, we live in a triplex. Do we really have to see each other too?
Come and have a cookie.
Your cookies taste like shit.
Sometimes you're as mean as mom.
I'm not like my mother. I'll never be like my mother. No one can possibly be like my mother. My mother never loved anyone. I have. Andreas the mailman. That man always made a licks up other than stamps. I realized I was in love when I started looking forward to getting my bills. But when you're in love, once a month is not enough. So I started sending myself letters by registered post. I'd write blah blah blah, I'd put the paper in an envelope and I mailed it to myself. The more I wrote, the more I saw him, and the more I saw him, the more I loved him. It was a delicious, vicious circle. But I needed more. I tried all the time. I'd ask him, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Are you cold? No dice. Then I started opening the door in my nightie. He'd smile politely, holding out a pen. I'd follow that up with, oh, I don't feel so good. And I'd slowly crumble into a very flattering pose. But I'd wake up with my letter sitting next to me. The message was clear. In my last letter, I wrote, Claudia, what he doesn't see is still real. And I mailed it to myself. And around the same day, my new neighbors moved in across the street. My new neighbors and their dog Hannibal. The mailman came and banged on my door yelling, hurry, hurry, the dog's gonna kill me. I replied, on one condition. 9 months later, my baby was born, but I didn't want my sisters to know I had a kid. That's why I stayed inside for a few months. I had plans for that baby, plans to make sure I would never ever be like my mother.
I said you can come out now, Gabriel. Mama is sorry. You can call Children's Aid as soon as you're old enough to hold the phone. Gabriel? Gabriel? I took the cage in both hands and shook it hard, hard, hard. Gabriel's body fell on the floor. He was dead. I killed him. My baby died shut in a cage and my husband died locked out. What is wrong with me? I looked at his body on the floor. I didn't want to touch another corpse, but I couldn't resist. I bent down to stroke his hair. When my fingers touched his head, I said, why, you little, it was a doll dressed up like Gabriel. My baby wasn't dead. He was free. Claudine,
Yes, Claudette?
Gabriel ran away.
Hey, that's great. He's finally running.
Claudine, this is not the time to be happy.
Sorry. Where do you run away to?
When people run away, you don't know where they're going, or else they wouldn't be called runaways. They would just be called run over there.
What are you talking about?
Forget it. Claudia,
Yes, Claudette?
Gabriel ran away.
Oh, does this mean you can finally talk about something better than Pampers?
Forget it, everybody just forget it.
The night before he died, my sister's husband, Henry, came to see me. He told me, I know you're locked out too. Here, in case it ever gets too cold outside. Then he handed me a little box. Inside the box, there was a vial. Inside the vial, there was death. This morning, I said to myself, it's starting to get cold, and it's time to change the recipe. So I emptied the vial into my batter, and I made cookies.
When my baby was born, I put it in a box with a bottle, and I mailed it to the nicest house in the village by registered post. This family has death in its blood. I want my kid to know something else. And it's out of the way, I can finally leave my apartment.
Claudia,
What?
you left your apartment?
Looks like. So, where's the little bugger at?
I waited by the oven with a knot in my stomach, as if the cookies were already starting to kick in. I could tell by the smell these were not normal cookies. They were the final cookies. When I took them out of the oven, I thought of my therapist. If I ate these cookies, I'd leave only one thing behind me: lies. I didn't want that. To leave when you never really lived is worse than never being here at all. So I threw the cookies in the garbage. And I made new ones. My normal ones. My ones that taste like shit. And I brought some to my therapist. At my sister's wedding, they sat me at the kids' tables. I only buy lotto tickets when the jackpot hits 15 million, but I'd be happy only just winning 2. When I'm out for a stroll, I stop and collect the cigarette butts off the sidewalk. I do that even though I've never smoked in my life. I love the look of a sidewalk without any cigarette butts. I can never manage to program the thing to record my shows, so I'm always there to watch them live. I'm very punctual. Just ask the television. Last week, I was eating in a booth behind this couple. When I got to the washroom, I saw they were holding hands. I cried when I was peeing. In grade 3, my teacher told me I had nice handwriting. I'll remember that for the rest of my life. I almost drowned once. Luckily, someone saved me. That night, I treated myself to a fancy restaurant and left a huge tip. I love Halloween. I make up these great little bags, and I give them to all the children who come by, and I dress up like a princess. And I always keep one for myself. I eat it in bed, alone, in my pajamas. One day, I'm gonna make cookies and someone will like them. My therapist told me I just survived my trial by fire. I told him, what kind of trial is that? He told me, it's when you build the strength to bury yourself to the flames, not knowing if it will warm us or burn us. I told him, whoa, I am not burying myself to anybody. But thank you. I hurried home to tell my sisters the good news. Claudia, I survived my trial by fire.
Don't think so. No.
Not even a little bit.
When I turned around, I saw the flames.
10 seconds later, everything was on fire. The curtains, the doors, the walls.
Yep, my kid was officially a psychopath. Claudia,
Yes, Claudette?
are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yep.
You, Claudia?
Me too.
Claudia,
Yes, Claudette?
do you know how to use a fire extinguisher?
No.
You, Claudia?
Me neither.
Claudia?
Yes, Claudette?
Claudia?
Yes, Claudette?
We're all gonna die.
Yep, it's just one of those days.
It could be worse.
You think?
Yeah, we could be burning at home alone.
I'm sorry about Gabriel. I should have had an IUD.
Don't say that. A child is a beautiful thing.
I knew you were gonna be a good godmother.
Claudine,
Yeah, Claudia?
got any more of those cookies?
Yeah.
I'll take one.
Me too.
Thank you for everything, my sisters.
We didn't really have a choice.
But we liked it anyways.
And that's when the ceiling began to fall in.
We hid under the table.
Like when we were little.
5 seconds later, the table caught fire.
There was nowhere left to go.
My sisters and I huddled together, as if we needed warmth in spite of the flames.
At the last moment, I felt the touch of a little hand. It was Gabriel.
Mama and Dada and me together like before.
My son wasn't a psychopath or challenged. He was like me. He wanted to get back to Henry. I took him in my arms.
When my skin started to melt, I broke into a smile. I thought about my baby, its bottle, and its beautiful fire-free home. I made the right decision. I was a good parent.
The last thing I remember is the smell of my skin. It didn't smell like burning. It smelled like cookies. Homemade cookies.
So, just to clarify for the lighting person, I think you guys are both more downstage, yeah? You're going to be on different chairs than those ones, so, yeah.
My brother has a wife, 2 kids, a pool, a dog, and a cottage. I've got a basement apartment. He's always saying, Colin, you spend your life in front of the computer. Don't try to tell me you're happy. I tell him, no, actually, I'm not happy. So he gave me an address and he said, go play cards there instead of on the internet and maybe you'll meet people in your situation. I asked him, my situation? What is my situation? And he said, you know, loser. So it was right. I went.
I wish I had known that the last can of meat I opened for shortbread would be the last can of meat shortbread would ever eat. I would have opened it more slowly. It was the garbage men who called. They said, ma'am, we found your cat. Great. Under one of our trucks. Sorry. I put the phone down, closed the curtains, turned off the lights, and stopped going to work. At night, I could hear shortbread murmuring, it's your fault. You left the window open. It's your fault. After a week of your fault, it was high time I left the house. So I skimmed the local event listings. I found social evening, card games, Holy Union Parish Hall. Sandwiches will be served. All welcome. So that's where I went.
It was in a church basement, and I went down the steps and opened the door. I was the only one there whose hair wasn't white, or gray, or gone. I turned right back to her.
On the stairs, I came face to face with a man. We didn't know each other, but he seemed glad to see me.
Her hair wasn't white, or gray, or gone. I smiled at her, and she smiled back. Then on an impulse all of a sudden out of the blue, I said, would you like to go to the cafe across the street with me? We could play Dragons and Kings. I got my deck and my coat.
Dragons and Kings. We play Dragons and Kings. I asked, do I look like a princess? He replied, yes. So we went to the cafe across the street.
I explained the object of the game to her, to save all of humanity and the kingdom of peaceful dragons by staunchly battling the evil forces of shadow and destruction.
Here, I thought we were just getting coffee. Near the end, I drew the card of the Tree of Life, which healed the grievous wounds inflicted on our armies by the order of the damned, thus allowing us by a hair's breadth to save all of humanity and the kingdom of peaceful dragons.
She drew the Tree of Life! That's the most powerful card out of all 255 cards. It healed the grievous wounds inflicted on our armies by the order of the damned, thus allowing us by a hair's breadth to save all of humanity and the kingdom of peaceful dragon!
I was happy. We looked at each other. Amazing conversations eyes can have in 5 seconds.
As we were leaving, I asked her if she wanted to go see a movie Friday. She answered.
Do I ever?
The next day, I called my brother. I told him I changed my situation. Then I described Carol for 20 minutes. He asked me, do you like Carol more than YouTube? And I answered, do I ever?
When I got home, I called the distress line. I told them that next Friday I was going to the movies with makeup on. I couldn't see them, but I knew they were happy for me.
That Friday, we went to the movies. And the Friday after that, and the Friday after that. We did 4 Fridays in a row. Each time we went to see a movie and then to a cafe to play Dragons and Kings. We call them Carol Fridays.
At the first movie, we ordered 2 small popcorns and 2 small drinks. At the second movie, we ordered one large popcorn, 2 small drinks. At the third movie, we ordered 1 large popcorn, 1 large drink, 2 straws. At the last movie, we ordered 1 large drink, 1 large popcorn, 2 straws. Or no, 1 straw.
1 straw. Just 1. It was as if we were kissing, but by correspondence. I wanted to tell her, Carol, you have lips like ripe fruit. Instead, I decided to arrange a little surprise for her the following Friday, and I knew exactly what she needed.
Next week, there were only 3 movies playing that we hadn't already seen. Theater 2, SOS, Tarantulas, Carnage on a cruise ship as thousands of deadly spiders make their escape. Arachnophobia meets Titanic. No thanks.
Theater 5, Flowers in Springtime. A woman dying of leukemia plants a garden to leave us her legacy to her children. Personally, I find films about growing vegetables in one.
Theater 7, Woofy. A man making a wish on his 13th birthday. No, that's not right, sorry. Having made a wish on his 13th birthday, a man wakes up in the body of a dog. Family comedy of the season. Maybe in a few years with our kids. I said, you decide.
All I could think about was my surprise, and I wanted to get to it as fast as possible. So I picked the movie that was the shortest. We went to go see SOS Tarantulas.
Then something happened that never happened in 4 Column and Carol Fridays. We didn't get popcorn or drinks. We didn't get anything at all. Column didn't say, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? No, I'm paying. I insist. He didn't say anything at all. He walked right past the concession stand and headed for Theater 2. It made me feel funny, but not the kind of funny that makes you laugh.
I had it all planned out in my head. When we were leaving the movie theater, I'd say to her, oh, let's take a different route to the cafe this time. My brother lost his wallet yesterday. Maybe we'll find it. Oh, too bad we didn't find it. Oh, a chocolate shop. I've never seen this chocolate shop before. I swear, let's go in. Once inside, I would wink at the clerk and say, we'd like 2 small pieces of dark chocolate, please. The clerk would go into the back of the store and bring out the enormous chocolate dragon I'd ordered custom made out. Carol would see the dragon, modeled after our cards, and be absolutely amazed. Then she would read the note placed in the dragon's mouth, the note that said, you put the fire in my belly. That's why I didn't want to buy any popcorn. I wanted Carol to be hungry for her chocolate.
I couldn't concentrate on the movie. No popcorn. Maybe Colin didn't like the part with 1 large drink and 1 straw. Maybe Colin was tired of going to the movies. Maybe I was the only one who enjoyed being with the 2 of us. Unlike the last horror movie, I didn't pretend to be scared just so I could bury my head in his shoulder.
When the Spider Queen leapt at the captain's throat, biting him and screaming,
That ship is mine! That ship is mine!
Carol didn't even jump. Last horror movie we watched, she was scared of everything. That's when I realized Carol didn't seem to be having any fun. She should have picked Whoopi. I made the wrong choice again. When we were leaving the theater, she said,
I'm cold. I'm going to walk home.
on an impulse, all of a sudden, out of the blue, I said, but my brother, different route. Are you hungry? Well, I'm hungry now. You have to come. Come?
I didn't understand a word he was saying. There was silence. We looked at each other. His eyes said, I know I'm being really weird, but I can't explain it to you, but just trust me. My eyes replied, I don't know what's going on, but I'll follow you because you're Colin. We took a different path. Not the cafe of dragons and kings. We took a new street. Then another, then another, then another. I didn't even know where we were anymore. We turned the corner and then he said, here we are. I stopped dead in my tracks.
There we were. There at last. Just a few seconds more and I could offer a gift to my princess.
I couldn't go any further. I was frozen, rooted. My heart, my hands, my legs wanted to flee. were right at the corner where Shortbread got ran over.
I shoved my hand into my pocket and I took out a coin. I said, "Oh, a chocolate shop. Let me get you a little piece of dark chocolate."
I could see the garbage can. I could see the garbage truck. I could hear Shortbread saying, "Yes, it was here."
I said, "Come here. Come over here, Carol. You must be hungry."
I could see Shortbread on the road, squashed beneath a tire.
Come on, let's go in. I'll buy you a little chocolate.
I could hear Shortbread's screams being swallowed by the noise of grinding trash.
Just one little chocolate.
I could hear Shortbread telling me, "It's your fault.
Come on, Carol.
Your fault. Your fault."
Oh, come on. I was too big in a hurry. I took her by the hand.
As soon as he touched me, I yelled, "You're a jerk! You're a jerk for bringing me here!" I regretted the moment it came out of my mouth. Colum stared at me dead still, with his mouth hanging open. He would have thought he was a corpse. The coin he was holding in his hand fell out. I could hear, in slow motion, I could hear the clink it made when it hit the ground. I wish I could have explained to Colum that one day my father came into my room and told me, "Carol, your brother is not your brother. Your mother is not your mother. I am not your father. You came in a box by registered post. We should have told you sooner." In that moment, my world came crashing down. The people I thought were my family were strangers, and somewhere, strangers were my family. By way of apology, they gave me a cat. That cat was the only true thing I have left. I named him Shortbread, and losing Shortbread meant losing everything all over again. That's what I should have told Colum. Instead, I yelled, "You're a jerk!" I deserved to be alone. I ran away.
I watched Carol go, flee from me. The fire at the core of my dragon belly went out. I lowered my eyes, and there where my coin fell was a little red light. It reminded me of the dots you find on maps posted around cities, but instead of "you are here," it meant "here's something died." I looked up and I saw a second little red light on the other side of the street near the garbage can. On the sidewalk, I saw other red dots. There were lots of them actually, on the cars, through the windows of every building, at the end of every branch of every tree, wherever death had been, I saw a red dot. I never even noticed. We live in an apple tree. The next day, I went to the movies and watched Flowers in Springtime. I cried from beginning to end.
After 3 days, the loneliness was unbearable. I went to the pet store. I bought a tarantula.
After millions of red dots, I need some light. I went to the garden center. And I bought a bird.
Eat your meat.
Grow fast, bird.
Eat your meat.
Grow fast, bird.
Please, eat your meat.
Faster, bird!
Hey, yes, I know I shouldn't come over to your place all of a sudden, out of the blue, without warning you or calling you or announcing my presence. Yes, I know it's not nice and maybe even a little bit criminal to track down your address by hacking into your internet provider. Yes, I know I shouldn't have done any of that, and I'm a jerk, but I absolutely had to tell you. You are my green apple in a loaf of bread. That's why you have lips like red fruit. I find it easier to imagine myself without computers than without you. I didn't want to wait until I had leukemia to tell you that. It's all. Bye.
I'm in love with my dead cat. I'm trying to stop, but I can't. He got ran over near the chocolate shop. That's why I yelled at you. Shortbread and I were together for 17 years. We knew everything about each other. Our moods, our favorite shows. We loved each other, even in the morning before the toothpaste came home. Eat your meat.
I meet?
Not you.
Ginger Snap.
Ah, you bought a kitten to replace. Is she dangerous?
Yeah,
Hi, Ginger Snap. I'm Kala.
she doesn't talk yet.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Because I think. Did you hear that?
hear what?
Ginger Snap said something. I said, you heard that, didn't you?
No, what did she say?
She said, sit down.
Why?
Sit. Meow!
No, Shortbread only meowed when he was in pain. Around me, he purred.
Oh, sorry. Purr.
That's more like it.
Purr.
Longer.
Purr.
Again.
Purr.
Shortbread.
Purr.
Shortbread, you're right. It was my fault. I left the window open.
Purr.
I'm sorry.
Purr.
You're not a jerk, Colin. You're the opposite of a jerk. I don't know if I can love you as much as I loved Shortbread,
I'd love for you to love me as much as you can love me.
but don't be perfect, okay? I find perfect people give me a complex.
Oh, I'm far from perfect.
Prove it.
I almost got a criminal record.
Oh yeah? What for?
I can't tell you, you'll judge.
I'm in love with the cat. I'm in no position to judge.
Promise it won't change anything between us?
I swear by Shortbread.
I torched my family when I was a baby.
Okay, why?
No idea. The firefighters found me surrounded by the corpses of 3 women. They held me so tight between them that the flames couldn't even reach me. One of the firefighters offered to take me home. He couldn't imagine me growing up without family, and once I came into his house, the firefighter gave me a new name. He called me Colin because when he found me, I was calm in the midst of the horror.
So your family is not your family?
No. I'd still love to introduce you to my brother, though. He has a wife, 2 kids, a pool, a dog, and a cottage.
Sounds boring. We should go see a movie instead.
Oh, which one?
Woofy.
On one condition. Do you, Carol, promise me, Colin, that we will share one straw?
I do.
Okay, and then you guys are going to do your bows. So I think what would make sense is, since the 2 of you are on stage at the end, lights come down and then you 2 would bow first. So probably, yeah, Royam and MJ just come to the center here. I don't know if you want to bow together or if you want to bow individually. How do you want to do it?
I think individually.
Individually? Okay. So go MJ first. Great. And then Royam, yeah. Great. And then you 2 take a step back. And then the 3 triplets would come out.
So slow.
And then you 3, I think, bow individually as well. So it'd be Cassidy first.
Isn't it bad luck to bow before a show?
No. Well, you got to figure out bows in advance, yeah. So you,
No, yeah, because it's bad luck.
I've never heard that before.
I've done it every time, and it's been good shows.
Okay. Okay, then Nicole would bow. Great. And then Jonathan would bow. Great. And then I think, Royam and MJ just come forward, right in between. Then you would take hands with each other and go up, you go down. And then you're going to point to the booth and give them a hand. And then you do one more bow together.
Stop!
And that's it. And you get off the stage. Yay. Okay,